Welcome to SEGA Talk. In this calorie-inducing, grease-flying, and delicious episode covering Sonic's long history with fast food promotions, we will be checking out 16 fast food promotions. We travel back in time and check out McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Carl's Jr., and more.
SEGA Bits presents SEGA Talk, a podcast talking all things SEGA with your hosts, George and Barry.
Look, it's a giant talking egg. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the master here. So what?
Hello and welcome to SEGA Talk 125. I'm your host, George, and with me, like always, is Barry.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Hello.
That could mean hi and goodbye.
It does mean hi and goodbye. I'm feeling high and I'm saying goodbye.
Well, there's a character in this book I've been reading that says aloha, and the narrator always says, it means hi and goodbye. It's like, I know.
It's true.
Thank you, though. So, on this episode, we're talking about fast food promotions involving Sonic the Hedgehog, which has to go on the record to having the most fast food promotions, I would say. Maybe, like Mario hasn't had, I don't think, as many. I think he's had quite a bit, but I don't think as many as SEGA has had for Sonic. So, let's start off the episode with you promoting our Patreon.
Sure. So if you support us on patreon.com/SegaBits, you can get a bunch of neat stuff. So you could get this episode a week early for audio. You could also get this episode a week earlyo for audio and video. So many EOs there, and talking about Mario earlier. We also have a very special tier where you get to pick what we talk about. And for the past month, we've been kind of being the pickers. But George was doing something that was pretty fun, where he was throwing up some, what do you call those? Choices, surveys, I guess. And people were picking from that little list, and that's why we are now talking about what we're talking about tonight. What else is there going on our Patreon? Oh, there's I've been posting up little pictures. There's like an arcade meetup coming up on September 9th. I'm actually kind of surprised it's coming up so soon. It was one of those things I was like, that's months away. I don't need to worry about that. And yeah, that's at the Galloping Ghost Arcade, 1 p.m. to 9 p.m., September 9th. Super chill, it's just a meetup, play games. Like, you know, I don't want to like have a convention, but it's just a fun meetup. But there are these stickers. I just got them in the mail. Ugh. They look super cute. Yeah, Pseudochell made those on Twitter or X, whatever the hell it's called. And I commissioned her to make these. They're absolutely beautiful little vinyl stickers. So if you attend, you get a set. There's 50 of them here, and I would be shocked if 50 people show up. But if 50 people show up and I sell out, I'll have to order more and do little IOUs. But yeah, I guess if I were a fast food restaurant, if I ran out, I would just give them like whatever toys we had left over. So they would get like maybe a banana sticker. Ooh. You know?
Yeah.
Or they would get like a promo sticker that I got when I bought the stickers. Like the freebies. They could get a donkey.
So. You're going to be taking just extra stickers in your pocket?
Yeah, just like rolls of like Disney princess stickers. And I'm like, we ran out of these, but
can you imagine if you're leaving the event and somebody's trying to rob you and you're like, all I have are these Barbie stickers?
That would be pretty cool. I'd be proud of myself. But, yeah.
So, this episode, we're obviously talking about fast food promotions. So, I have a question for you, Barry. Growing up, were you into these fast food promotions that they would do? And what are some of the notable ones you remember growing up?
I mean, not at all, honestly. Like, I just didn't think about... No, of course I was. I was super into them. Man, like, you know, back in the day... And I know they still do Happy Meals. Yeah. But back in the day, they had the Burger King Kids Club. Like, everyone had, like, a club. It was like a thing. Right. nowadays, like Burger King doesn't really have a thing, Wendy's doesn't really have a thing. Like they have toys, but they don't really have a brand around it. There's no real like club. Often the promotions are kind of crummy, like they're made of paper now for the most part. Honestly, I think Burger King kind of stopped doing real big toy promos. I don't even know if they do it anymore. But back in the day, there was, and there's actually really great documentaries on YouTube about it, covering the Disney fast food promotions. And it was those promotions that really led to kind of a war between Burger King and McDonald's, where they were trying to outdo each other. And I'm pretty sure that something for McDonald's underperformed, so they dropped Disney. Disney went with Burger King, and then like big stuff came out, like Lion King, like all those that string of hits, and McDonald's was like, "What have we done?" And so if you look at those toys, they were like legit. They were like action figures. You got horses and princesses and princes, and they had all these cool poses. And my favorite notable ones would have to be the Toy Story promotion with Burger King, because they did, I don't know if you remember these, but they had full, like, sized Woody and Buzz and the RC car, and they all fit together so Woody and Buzz could sit on it. Mm-hmm. And then in addition to that, they had, I think, like 8 toys, which was a lot. I think 6 or 4 was usually the norm. And they were really nice. Like, they had fabric, and they were of all the characters. They even had like the mutant toys, which were so cool as like little Happy Meals. They had the dog that chased them at the end of the movie.
Yep.
So I would say the Toy Story one is actually my favorite. I remember getting sick to my stomach because I saw the ad for it. I ran to my mom and I'm like, "We got to go to. They have them now." And she's like, "We're not going to Burger King. I'm making dinner tonight." And I was like, "Oh, they're selling out right now. They don't have any more." Oh,
I can feel it.
You know that feeling as a kid?
Yeah.
Because nowadays you're like I had a moment yesterday when I'm like, "Oh, the Game Informer with Sonic Superstars is out. I should go to GameStop." I didn't do it yet, but I will. But imagine like that, but not having the ability to do that. Like, you can't leave the house. You have to ask someone.
Yeah. I agree. I think the Disney ones were probably the top tier, because I remember all my family members would even collect them, girls included. I think especially girls. I think Disney still has millennial women seem to be really, really into Disney.
Oh, yeah. Huge.
Yeah, so I would say stuff like the Burger King promotions really helped, make it what it is for women. For sure, those are the biggest ones. I remember little ones. I think the Lord of the Rings stuff I would go out and get, because that one had crazy
fun.
promotion. I was into for some reason, the first Spider-Man one. Just the cups, though. They just had the cups that just had the print on them. I don't know why, but I was super into it.
I completely omitted the biggest one, which was Star Wars Episode 1, because that was KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, and maybe one more. That's insane. And it was insane. Each one had their own toys, and they, I believe, were each based around a different planet. So you would like go to Tatooine, which was like Taco Bell or something, and you would only get the Tatooine toys there. And they had the cups with the toppers. It was insane. I actually have a vinyl banner that if it were hanging behind me here, it would stretch all the way across.
I think they even had like people were even collecting the Pepsi cans, or I think they had like a whole line.
There were Pepsi cans. There were collectible tokens. They weren't Pogs. They were smaller. But if you collected sets, like if you got all the characters from one planet, you would win a prize. And so obviously they were like, "Oh yeah, you can find Darth Maul," and like they would never actually make him. Like there was one. But man, like it doesn't happen nowadays. Really, I think the biggest thing was the Grimace birthday, but there was no toy.
It was just the drink, right?
Yeah, but I did hear that they're starting a new McDonald's restaurant called Cosmix, and it's based around the McDonald Land characters, I think.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, it's starring a space alien from their, 90s commercials. So, that'll be interesting.
So in this episode, we will be looking at fast food chains like McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Carl's Jr., Subway, Arby's, and Burger King. Out of these American hamburger restaurants, well, not all of them. Subway is not a hamburger restaurant. Which one of this is your favorite to go to?
Man, like out of these, I don't really go to because I have kids, I go to McDonald's more than I ever thought I would. There was like 20 years where I hadn't been to a McDonald's, and then since the Sonic 2 movie promotion, I've gone at least once every 2 months. But I don't eat the burgers. I'll get like a drink or something. So I gotta say, the roast beef sandwich at Arby's, even though I haven't had one in like 10 years, that's my favorite of these. But outside of that, Wendy's we do on road trips, and Culver's. I don't know if you've ever heard of Culver's. It's kind of a Midwest thing. But it's very nice. It's sit down. They have frozen custard, but it's like fast food sit down. So it's like each restaurant's super clean. I actually really love White Castle.
Okay.
And I live like a block away from one, which is not good.
Right.
But I have a happy memory of taking Chris Tang of Rock the Rock to White Castle, and I bought him a slider.
Nice.
Yeah.
Out of these, I probably wouldn't. Growing up, I don't really go to fast food anymore. Carl's Jr., and that's a West Coast thing. I think it's just, what is it in the East Coast? Hardee's.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just they have bigger burgers than most places. The other places always felt like McDonald's. I'm not really that into it. And I was a kid, obviously, for the toys or whatever, Burger King. But I go to Wendy's because here locally in Florida where I'm staying right now, there's only 4 restaurants, and Wendy's is the best one out of the fast food place. It's the McDonald's, Wendy's, KFC, and Taco Bell. I go to Taco Bell too.
Wendy's, I think, does salads, and something that surprised me. I went to McDonald's and had a salad like a year ago, and then I went to a McDonald's a month ago and I ordered a salad, and they're like, "Oh, we don't have salads," and I'm like, "You did a month." So McDonald's does this weird thing where they like drop very vital things from the menu, like a salad. It's very odd. Like they don't have salads right now.
Do you go with the kids, right? So do they still have all the like apples or whatever? Like you could like substitute French fries and stuff.
Yeah, so the kids' meals were healthied up. Like they default to milks and juices instead of sodas. They have apples instead of French fries, though you can get French fries, and then it's either nuggets or a hamburger or a cheeseburger. But they're very cheap. Like, they're very affordable. Like, I'm surprised by the price of a Happy Meal still.
How much is it?
It's like $5 or something. It's not much. It's
I
crazy.
would say that's cheap considering how much you spend on sometimes at Wendy's. Like I'm like, what the? I get look at it. I'm like $15 almost. Like, why? What? And I'm like looking at it. and I'm like, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So the first promotion that started it off, I thought it was the McDonald's one, but apparently it started in the UK with Burger King. Where they had an iconic Sonic. I thought it was the McDonald's, right? Sonic 3 McDonald's, but apparently the Kids Club did a SEGA Zip Strips promotion, and you can see the toys here. And something I've noticed about the early Sonic promotions is that a lot of the Sonic art. So first they have the Sonic zip line, just him as a ball. It has him with the cat. I'm not even putting the pictures up, so let me do that. So first is the ball, the spin ball. Mm-hmm. Then we have the capsule, which I think is the coolest one, where he's on top of the little winning capsule in the end of the stage. Eggman, which literally looks like an egg, which is pretty cool with the zip tie. I actually think that's really cool that he's shaped like an egg.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
But his look is always like from the cartoon. I've noticed from the early promotions. Eggman, Robotnik, right? They use the look.
Or he is based on like the U.S. cover art of the Japanese version, which is weird.
Right.
Like that one, that's like Sonic 2's cover art.
Right. Yeah. This is more. Yeah, you're right. This is more like the Sonic 2 cover art. You're right.
Yeah.
And what do you think about the Tails flyer, I guess, which has always been a thing with Tails toys?
Yeah, and it's coming out of his like crotch, or he's like impaled. It's
right.
really dumb.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised they didn't pivot it and put the propeller where it should be and have the drawstring go through the side of his body, because if you go the other way, it looks like he has a big pingus.
I think that's why they didn't do it. They're like, all right, we have to put it in the front.
The canister is really cool, and it's kind of funny because I don't think they've ever made toys of the capsule that you break open,
right?
Since, but just this month Jakks Pacific released a toy of it. So it's like it's been from 1993 till 2023. It's been 20 years between the very first and the second time that a toy representing that capsule thing that pops open.
So is the Jakks one, does it actually open and everything and have like a...
I think so. It comes with the rabbit and it comes with the flicky.
Oh, nice.
And it comes with classic Sonic and a signpost, so it's like the end of the stage. It's pretty cute. You can get them at Walmart, I think.
Oh, nice. The next promotion is obviously the one everyone knows the most. The Sonic 3 in 1994. This is probably the most nostalgic for Americans, is the McDonald's Sonic 3 promotion. I think let's look at the ad, because I think the ad kind of sells the event itself. I'll play it now.
Where do the stars of SEGA Sonic 3 go when the game's over?
Sonic? Are you guys in there?
Hey, here's a hint. They're at McDonald's in the $1.99 Sonic 3 hamburger Happy Meal.
$1.99.
Sonic launches with a push of a
Not
button.
bad.
Tails flies who knows how high. And Robotnik barely dodges disaster.
Ooh,
There's even
ooh.
this sweepstakes thing where 10,000 lucky folks will win free Sonic 3 cartridges. So if you're still looking for Sonic and his friends,
I need to report a missing hedgehog.
take the kids to McDonald's, where what you want is what you get.
It's funny
Wild.
that Tails is probably the big show and toy here. I mean, when they were all flying up in the air. I love the scene where all the kids have the copy of Sonic 3. It's very Mortal
it's
Kombat-ish.
Like thousands of kids have gathered with their copy. Maybe we can reenact that someday at a convention. Like, bring your copy of Sonic 3. We're all going to go, ah, and then charge into that.
Perfect. What happened to the kids from the Sonic 3 McDonald's ad back then? And it's just that clip.
They all died. It's a curse.
Oh, really? Sonic 3 curse?
Yeah. If you win, it's like the ring.
So as you can tell, this American ad here didn't just get toys, but also in America we got the 10,000 lucky fans getting the game early. Did you remember this and enter? And also, do you ever enter contests like this in fast food places?
I remember the contest. I don't recall entering, but I likely owned Sonic 3 like soon after. I'm trying to remember the timing, because I'm sure if people are watching this, they might have seen that I did like multiple videos about the Sonic 3 Happy Meal promotion and like articles and stuff. Because I was just kind of fascinated with like when did it release, what toys came out when, were any of them pulled for safety reasons or not. There's a lot of like urban legends about this set that I found that a lot of it wasn't true, or it was just kind of like, and I don't know if we'll get to it, but like, it'd be like, oh, we need to recall that Tails toy because a kid got hurt. Well, the promotion's already ending. Okay, well then we won't recall it. We'll just let it ride out for a week. So there's stuff like that. If you want, I can actually switch my camera over and show some of the pieces. Would you like me to do that now?
Go for it.
All right. So using the magic of my phone. So this is and I'm going to walk away from the mic, so I might sound a little away, but I'll just speak up a little more. So these are where I store a lot of my collection, most of it. And so you might be going, where's the Sonic 3 stuff? Well, I actually have it displayed here. So this is the...
Wow, the actual thing, the display.
Is it mirrored? Maybe I have to flip it. Is it looking backwards to you?
No, it's fine. The logo's...
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
And this is what they set out in the stores. And so you would see this on display. I actually got this for like $20 off eBay like 10 years ago, which was insane.
Yeah, that is crazy.
And it's super cool. Like, it's got, Tails flying. It's got Knuckles coming out of a cave. Robotnik here. It's got Monkey Dude. I don't know what... I always called him Monkey Dude.
I think his name is Coconut.
Is that Coconut? Oh. There's like a different monkey, though.
Oh,
right?
no.
Sonic
Maybe
2,
you're right. Yeah, I think I'm thinking about the 2.
He has Vector Man arms. That's what I always thought was funny. But yeah, so there's that. And then I'm trying to see if I have any other Sonic 3 Happy Meal stuff down here. I do. So here's the toys that kids under 3 would get. And there's actually 2 back there.
The ball,
You
right?
can't see. Oh, there's the other one. Yeah, so if you look here, this is the one that they gave out in America. And it's of Sonic. Here's the one they gave out in Canada to every kid because when it came out in Canada, they pulled the propeller toy for safety reasons.
Yeah.
So this one's actually, it's one of those things where it's not rare, but just people don't really list it all that much because it's like very specific to Canada. So at least in what's over here, that's what I've got. So I'll jump back to my camera because I have a few more things sitting next to me here. So I also have this. This is the bag.
Oh my god.
I actually have like 8 of these. I bought a bunch of them off eBay. And what's unique is you'd be thinking, oh, Barry, where are the iconic boxes? Because kids know the Sonic boxes or the Happy Meal boxes. But what's interesting is that in a brief time with McDonald's Happy Meals in America, they did bags. And I don't know if they alternated, but this is what you got in America. But in the UK, they had boxes that were like little play sets. And I kind of wish we got that instead.
Why do we get ripped off?
Well, the bag's kind of cool. Like, it's got little games with, like, Carnival Night Zone. Let me see if I can
Not
pop
a
it open
play set.
here. But you know what? I thought about it. I think it's the entry. And that's why they switched to the bag, because they needed to fit this on the packaging somehow. You know what I mean? So, but the thing is I think if you got the toy, I don't know if the entry was there. The entry might have only been on the bag. And then there's just other stuff. And for some reason, there's the name Todd Kelly. Like, who's Todd Kelly? Did he draw this? I guess. I don't know.
He needs to be interviewed.
He should be. And then the last thing, this is really cool. So this is what they put up when you came in. This was up on the big board with the lights behind it. And it's see-through, like a movie poster. So let me see if I can get my flashlight here. So you can see it would be backlit like that.
Oh, I see.
And so you would see this at the drive-thru, and you'd also see this inside. And this is really cool. It's got, they're not photos, they're actual drawings of the pieces. So yeah, I have a pretty sizable collection. I actually have even more. I have a European version in the package, and I actually have them all packaged as well. But I think the only other thing I'd point out is that in Japan, they actually had Japanese Eggman, and also, if you notice the toy of Knuckles, he spins. And that was actually based off of the early...
I actually have all that right here as part of the
doc.
notes.
So yeah, let's get to it.
So the first one we're going to be looking at is the picture of the changed tails, because like you said, tails hurt kids. So it wasn't released in Canada or Puerto Rico. They got the ball that you showed earlier. Mm-hmm. But in Japan, and in Japan, they didn't even include tails at all. I think they had like a Grimace toy, which from an earlier promotion. That's weird. So now he's part of the Sonic canon.
He is, yeah.
But this is the redesign for other places outside of America. Which one do you like better of these two designs?
Well, there was a UK one where it's like chunky plastic tails. And then there's the ball, and then there's the American one. I prefer the American one because it does work, and it's really cool to see them go like and fly up in the air.
How did it hurt kids, by the way? Just them being dumb?
The only thing I can think of is there's a string, and maybe kids were wrapping it around their finger and like cutting off circulation.
So So
That's
it's
the only
pretty
thing I can
harmless.
think. Yeah, it's not dangerous. I mean, if you're if you're dumb, you can hurt yourself with anything, right?
I agree. I'm thinking that kids were like malicious, like pointing at people and hitting the string, and then hit their eyes or something. But
it's like it flies like 3 inches. It goes like, but it's still fun. Yeah.
Oh, so here's the picture of the Tails UK one, just for reference, with the chunky tail that you said. I think this one would probably be more close to what Tails would look like, I guess, because it has the tail on top instead of just the little wheel thing. But do you have this toy?
I don't. I've been meaning to get that one, but it's weird. It's like Tails on a flying saucer. It uses the same sticker. But yeah, he's got chunky tails, and it's got that ripcord that they seem to love over there, just like with those Burger King toys.
And here's the Japanese Eggman, which I like better because I like Eggman's original Japanese design.
I want that. I want that one too.
After this promotion happened, the same year as this promotion, Sonic came back again as part of the Happy Meal anniversary with a train set featuring past promotions, and ironically, the commercial actually had Barbie and Sonic together, which is pretty iconic. So let's check out. Oh, you got the actual thing with it? Is Sonic on it, right? Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, so despite them covering like a dozen franchises,
Sonic...
they do. It's Barbie, Hot Wheels, and Sonic. And I have to wonder if Tom Kalinske played a part in this, because if you remember, he was the former president and CEO at Mattel, and he like worked on the Barbie brand, so he probably had goodwill.
I wonder what he thinks about the new Barbie movie that's made $1 billion.
I'd love to know.
He obviously is excited. Did you see that he retweeted that SEGA changing its name to S joke tweet? I was like, it's not real. It's not real.
Look at this.
What does it say?
It says, turn this box into a birthday hat. Look at that dumb kid.
Yeah, you look like a pope. Don't do that.
Hey, it's my birthday.
No.
Oh, and one more thing, Master Shake. Look at that.
Oh, before we go into the train set, I did forget to mention that you posted the early design leak for Knuckles that was supposed to be the Knuckles, I guess, cloud, that he's supposed to have a cloud, and nobody knew about why that design was made until 2022 by Barry. Where do you find this doc at?
So there's a Sonic Collectors group that's a private Facebook group, and people go in there and they just like show off really rare things. And it's like, oh, that would have been nice to have like 20 years ago. Thanks for keeping that in your attic.
Right.
Yeah.
And in this one, basically, it says that he was supposed to have a cloud, right? Or ride a cloud? Is that what it says?
So Knuckles would spin into a tornado cloud and bust down walls, which they ended up using for Espio in Knuckles Chaotix. So it is a move they brought back, but that's why Knuckles spins like that. He doesn't do it in the game, but they did it for the toy because the toys were being developed well before
the game.
They finished the game. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, now we know why it has a cloud. Yeah. It's crazy that it only took like a gajillion years, but hey, at least we know.
Exactly.
So part of that McDonald's Happy Meal anniversary train set, they did a commercial for it. So Sonic, in the same year, had 2 fast food commercials. So let's look at the McDonald's commercial for the Happy Birthday Happy Meal in 1994.
Oh, it's epic.
It's McDonald's Happy Birthday Happy Meal.
Let's decorate.
God,
Bring your kids to McDonald's
the
for
clown
a
is so
Snoopy.
creepy.
hamburger Happy Meal and let them
Snoopy
celebrate
and
with their
Sonic
favorite
and E.T.
E.T.'s so
And
weird.
did you, George, I have it. So let's see if you can figure it out. There is another SEGA connection here in that train set. A very strong SEGA connection.
I saw the picture yesterday, and I remember I was going to bring it up too, but
Let's see if you do it.
Let me see.
I just thought of it.
I have the picture. Oh, here's a picture of what it looks like moving. Just if you've never seen it move with the artwork. So the cool thing about the Sega one is that it was literally a Mega Drive on top, and it was a TV. And then the TV, when it moved, it would spin, and it would have artwork featuring Sonic, Tails, and Eggman running supposedly after each other, or Eggman's running after them. And it's the Saturday morning cartoon artwork, pretty much. And I also have a picture of what the train set, the whole train set. So here you could see every single one. So let me see.
So look at that, and I'll give you a hint.
Oh, Tonka.
You know how
Tonka. It was Tonka.
There you go. You got it.
Yeah.
What's the connection?
The Master System. They used to publish the Master System in America before there was a Sega of America.
That's right.
I thought that was weird. Okay, so I was going to say, can you name every single franchise from the top, from the left top all the way down to the bottom to the last one?
Oh man, I have to look at the picture again. I probably could. Let's see. Where's that birthday train? I want to ride that train, don't you?
Yeah, it's. They should have done this every year, I think. But they don't have as cool promotions as they did in the '90s. So
now it would be like 10 Marvel franchises because literally every other month it's a Marvel toy. Let's see. All right, so Ronald's driving. Obviously Barbie, Hot Wheels, E.T., which is so weird because I don't think E.T. had a Happy Meal that year. He must have had one like ages before. Sonic, Little Mermaid, 101 Dalmatians, Cabbage Patch Kids, Tonka Trucks, Berenstain Bears, Muppet Babies, Snoopy, Tiny Toons, and then Looney Tunes, which is kind of weird. Like
the one I have here doesn't have Looney Tunes. Weird, because it said it was the complete set, but I don't have it on this one. Regardless, Looney Tunes and Tiny Toons are kind of the same.
And then the characters from McDonald Land, so they're not actually. Yeah.
So I think the weirdest one that. So 101 Dalmatians it was a Disney movie. It's always going to be iconic just for being a Disney movie. Little Mermaid 2. I think 101 Dalmatians wasn't as popular as Little Mermaid, but the thing that's weird is to me is E.T. Like I never thought of him as a kid franchise, but I mean it was a good movie, but it's not a franchise.
I'm gonna blow your mind though. They did a 101 Dalmatians McDonald's promotion in I want to say 96.
Oh, really?
Can you guess how many toys that promotion had?
101.
A record-breaking 101. And you could buy a display box for them. And they sell for only like $100 on eBay. It's like super cheap, but you can get...
wow.
It's insane.
Yep. I didn't know. I think they just did it to do the record so they could be like, it's 101 Dalmatians.
Exactly.
Right? Whatever. You actually, the next one, the PALS, the 1996 Sonic the Hedgehog and PALS Mini Viewer. This was a Carl's Jr. promotion, which is kind of weird because Carl's Jr. isn't really known for its promotions. Had as part of their cool combos for kids meals, the deal was to promote various Sonic games at the time, including Sonic Schoolhouse, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic the Hedgehog's Game World, Sonic Blast, and the PC version of Sonic CD. 4 toys were mini viewers based on the Viewmaster, and it consisted of a Knuckles, Tails, Dr. Robotnik, and Knuckles. This is obviously what Barry has them. He literally owns them all. Obviously, you can't show it. It's dark. Oh, actually, you can a little bit. Oh, yeah, you can actually. That's crazy.
You see him?
Yeah, I see it. There you go. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
So that's how it
I'll
works.
do one more. Yeah.
So what do you think about this promotion? You bought the toys. Do you think this was a pretty hype promotion for 96? I mean, Carl's Jr. is not really known for toys. It's not really a toy. I guess it is a toy, but not a figure.
It's kind of a weak promotion, to be honest. Like, I 100% bet that other toys exist with this mold, and they just slap stickers and change the picture.
That's what I was
also
thinking.
just personally annoys me that Knuckles is missing. He's ripped. But I actually own, and I don't have it in the case, I think it's in a box somewhere, I have one of them sealed, the Robotnik one. But, yeah, it's pretty epic.
Yeah, I would say there's a reason why as a kid, I only started going to like Carl's Jr. when I was older. I didn't even know Carl's Jr. was around that long, to be honest with you. And I didn't even know they did Happy Meals or Cool Kid Combo Meals or whatever the fuck they call it.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I was surprised that they did a Sonic promotion. I never heard of it. Like you said, it looks like it's just a mold that they like mass bought and just slapped any IP they get their hands on.
Exactly.
So very cheap, I would say. In a couple years after that promotion, Burger King had another UK promotion. Seemed like Burger King in the UK really had a Sonic licensing agreement at the time. They did it for their kids club, obviously. The toys were Sonic series again, and the promotion was 5 toys this time, being Sonic and Robotnik, Tails, Knuckles. That's 4, so I don't know. Oh, I think they had a couple of... so let's look at the pictures real quick, because I have the pictures here. So they have the Sonic on the cloud. Well, it's supposed to be smoke, right? Not on a cloud. It's supposed to be like he's going so fast.
He's high.
Right.
Yeah.
Eggman, which has a little game controller as his little egg ship, which I actually think is really cool.
Yeah.
Tails flying, but he's on the cloud again. They really like the cloud. Knuckles, smoke on the bottom, but he's gliding. And then, this little like Sonic, you know those little toys that they sold everywhere where it's like a water toy where you have rings and then you would hit the water and it would
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a Sonic face that's really creepy in the background. So you see him in the water, just his face smiling at you while you're playing a game that has nothing to do with Sonic.
Right.
Yeah, so do you have any toys of this promotion?
I don't. I mean, I'd love to. I actually think the bag and cup, which have Sonic R on it, are cooler than the toys themselves. I think it's a missed opportunity to not do actual Sonic R toys that just they're all wind back and you just race.
Right.
Like, that's super cheap and easy to do, and you could do Amy in her car and Metal Sonic. Like, it would have been an epic promotion, but instead it's just kind of like slightly crummier. It's basically the McDonald's promotion all over again, but slightly crummier.
Right, and not only that, it's like these. If I showed these to anyone, they would be like, "Oh, that could be from any Sonic game, not Sonic R." Definitely not the first thing that comes to your mind when you see these.
Right, and that's not the last time on this list we're going to see them kind of cheap out.
Right. So the next one is actually kind of a weird one. Jack in the Box in 1999 did a Sega team up. This was to sell Sega PC titles. Yes, the same year that they were launching the Dreamcast, Sega of America's like, how do we sell more Sega PC games, right? The collection featured a Sonic racing toy, a Knuckles action figure. They also had Echo the Dolphin and Bug figures. And I have some... Oh, Barry has the Dolphin. You have Bug, I know that. You showed it before in the Bug episode we did of Sega Talk. The only Bug action figure, I would assume, right? And Knuckles.
Ever. Yeah.
So, obviously, I have this is the... On screen right here is the promotion they use, the little, like, kind of kiosk. I don't know what they call these things. What do they call it? Like display? Just a display model?
Yeah. I actually bought these all sealed, and I actually did a Sega Memories post, like, 12 years ago where I showed the sealed bags and then I opened them, and I actually still have it's funny, for the longest time I kept like all of the little paper things inside my Sonic lunchbox, and they're probably still in there. So yeah.
So the real promotion here was if you bought the Jack in the Box, whatever they call their Happy Meal, probably Jack Meal or some stupid shit.
Jack off, yeah.
Jack off. You would get you would get your choice of PC Sega title for only $1.99. If you just wanted to collect them without buying the meal, they were $5.99. So this promotion really felt like Sega was trying to sell their overstock video games, PC games at the time.
Right.
So, but it is kind of strange that they chose Bug and Echo the Dolphin for this promotion.
It is, and I also have to tie it back to our previous episode of Snail Maze and Sega Swirl. Remember, the creator of Sega Swirl, his big job at Sega was porting games to PC. So he worked on a lot of those games.
Yeah.
Wow.
And did you remember this promotion when it was happening?
I didn't live on that side of the country, so no, actually, that's why I picked these up like a decade later on eBay.
Is Jack in the Box only do this in some coast or what?
Jack in the Box is West Coast, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought Jack in the Box was nationwide. I didn't know that it was only in the West Coast. Because I do remember
like
this
out
promotion.
here, we'd make fun of it. Probably, we'd be like, "Oh, are you jacking in the box?"
Oh,
well, over there though, they're like, "Oh yeah, I eat Jack and I eat Jack in the box." And we're like, so you eat and then you jack in the box?
I remember this because my friends used to like to go to Jack in the Box for tacos. I don't know why. They're the most they have like these like really cheap tacos that are just potato, and they're nasty. I hate them. They're greasy, but they loved them, so they would go, and I would go sometimes with them because obviously that's what you do in a small town that has only Jack in the Box. So the next promotion is in 2000, so now we're reaching the new millennium. This one's a weird one. A Sonic Underground and Denny's. Denny's is not fast food, but I decided to. It's a diner-style restaurant chain. Yep, you got the plushies. They did plushies. That's actually what I was thinking.
Tags.
And here's the on screen right now. If you see, it's just the Sonic Underground display, which is really selling the cartoon.
Triplets born.
They had a Sonic and Knuckles plushie, which you can see Barry got. Well, how do you think about the quality of them?
Actually, very, very nice. This is the best looking Knuckles I think I've seen, because if you look, they nailed like the side profile. Like, see how they kind of come out a little bit, the dreadlocks, and like it's very nice. The Sonic's actually pretty cool. Like, I rarely see them do the brow. And he is Sonic Underground specific because he has the little symbol here. And it's weird because Sonic Underground only had Knuckles in, I think, 2 episodes.
Right.
And I actually own the script to his debut episode. I bought it online for like $40. But yeah, it's cool. But I kind of wish Sonia and Manic, were also created because they never get toys.
And the toys were only, what, $2 is this right here? I guess if you bought a meal, or is that just straight out $2 for these figures? I
mean, by that point, you're sitting down at Denny's, you're probably all in, right?
Right. You don't go to Denny's to buy plushies.
No.
Yeah. I think that this is probably a really good promotion just because of the quality of, I think Sonic fans and plushies are kind of synonymous together. I think that's a big thing in Sonic collecting is there's a lot of people that just collect the plushies. So this is pretty good promotion, I would say, and really different from just copying McDonald's. So I give it up to Denny's this time. They did a good job.
Yeah.
The next one is another McDonald's, 2003. The McDonald's Sonic handheld LCD games. You got these too?
There they are.
To promote Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut, they obviously teamed up with Fisher-Price to make these LCD games. What made, I think, this one so unique is because, like Barry's showing, they had an Super Monkey Ball game, including Sonic's friends, which I think is pretty unique because It reminds me kind of Bug and Echo the Dolphin getting snuck in there. You know, this one is really sneaky because I totally forget that II made a LCD game. Why do you think they did that, to promote Super Monkey Ball?
Probably because it was the biggest franchise outside of Sonic on the GameCube. And you'll see that again with Billy Hatcher. It seems like they want to throw in one, but to be quite honest, like over the years since 2003, II's really been like number 2 to Sonic. They've always bundled Monkey Ball with him. They would always like make a Monkey Ball toy, like with the All Stars Racing stuff. So yeah, he's and in Banana Mania, Sonic's now like in the franchise. Yeah. So
now we just need a like a cameo in Sonic Frontier as a DLC where you help him find his bananas. So they also did commercials for this. So this is a 14-second ad they did in the United States. Just give me a look. Daytona crossover here.
Interesting,
isn't it? Thumb-busting, hard-kicking fun. SEGA handheld games are now at McDonald's. There's one in every Happy Meal. Get happy.
Get happy. So, what do you think about that? Like, I think it's interesting that they're trying to sell it as the SEGA handhelds are here. Like it's a console continuation. Like a couple years after the Dreamcast was, or a year after the Dreamcast was disbanded. Like they made it kind of try to seem that like they got the continuation of Sega, kind of like in the hardware.
Yeah, like
you notice that
the follow-up, the new console. Sega's back in the hardware business.
Yep, here at McDonald's. What do you think about the LCD games that they actually sold? They came with it. Are they fun to play, or are they just super basic, nothing or whatever throwaway games?
You know, are those Game & Watch games fun to play? You know, they're good for a short burst of gameplay. I think the problem with them, though, is that the batteries die, and McDonald's uses, like, proprietary screwdrivers that you have to, like, go out and specially buy. They're, like, triangle. So only a handful of my games actually work now, but I could go out and, like, buy new batteries, but that's I've run out of things to do in my life when I'm, like, replacing the batteries in my Sonic LCD toys.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so I guess this Sonic DX promotion was so popular for them that they did it again the following year. And this time they actually went to Pakistan. It was a worldwide event for the Sonic Heroes promotion. The U.S. had commercials, France had commercials, and Pakistan had a legendary commercial that's played worldwide as a fantastic ad. It really shows you or puts into perspective how much hype was behind Sonic Heroes. Because it was the first Sonic game to be officially made outside of Sega hardware. So it felt like there was a lot of hype and companies wanted to get behind it. And obviously, Sonic brand was at a good place right here. I think a lot of people say that it's been bad since it got 3D, but not really, because I feel like in 2004, it was in a really, really good spot. A lot of GameCube owners were playing the crap out of Sonic Adventure games. It was well reviewed, and the follow-up was supposed to be coming out, so a lot of people were hyped about it. So let's look at the commercial for the American one, the first one here. And it's kind of weird because the beginning is like it's like a two-part commercial. So the beginning is just a basketball commercial with Ronald and a girl. Do you remember this?
So they would do this a lot. Like if they didn't want to spend the money on a specific one, they would have like a short with Ronald, and then they do the toy. It's kind of weak. I didn't like when they did that.
And cool guys play Sonic, right?
Yeah, they fall down. What a loser.
You can get into the action with one of these handheld Sonic games in every McDonald's Happy Meal.
Pretty sweet, though. Yeah.
Pretty good, I would say. Here we have an ad showing all the handhelds how they advertised it. As you could tell,
Mm-hmm.
Billy Hatcher got one. Which what do you think about Billy Hatcher and the promotion that Sega really tried to push him as a character?
I've never been a fan of Billy Hatcher. I think it's like they should have canceled that game. It's just not good. But hey, they're trying their best to promote Billy, so I can't fault them, I guess.
And we also got 2 French ads, and I did put them on here because it has a fully animated Sonic that actually looks really good and better than the American ads. So I'll play those. Oh, and there's also like this weird like beginning to the French ads where like McDonald's is dancing or Ronald is dancing, just letting you know.
That's weird.
Toi aussi, bouge avec moi.
Whoa, it's Cream.
He's wearing like a tracksuit too.
That's pretty slick.
Sonic est dans ton Happy Meal avec 6 nouveaux jeux électroniques.
Sonic's like in Spider-Man 1 or 2. Remember where he's like hiding
Right.
in Spider-Man 1 on the ceiling?
So that's the first ad. They had 2 ads in France. So I don't know how popular this game was. I also think it's funny that just Ronald dancing is theirs. I like it better than him playing basketball though. So let's play.
I guess so. They want him to be like active because they know their food's not healthy.
Right.
On rentre direct dans l'action.
Oh, I like
people.
Sonic's. Did you see Sonic's little dance?
À toi, Sonic.
Oh
Go
yeah.
to.
Sonic, t'as 3
You
techniques.
gotta go to
Retrouve Sonic chez McDonald's.
13
Chaque nouveau
seconds. He's going like this.
It's
Sonic, t'as 3 techniques. Retrouve
But
Sonic chez Mac. 3 techniques.
The toys are a little
Sonic, t'as
different.
3 techniques.
They're shaped
Retrouve
differently.
Sonic chez Mactronic à découvrir dans ton.
oh yeah,
See
they are.
that?
Yeah.
It's the same game, but like the casing's different. I prefer the American ones. I love the
Yeah.
cream one. They're like little flowers that open up.
Yeah. I think each region had a slightly altered casing to it. I don't know if it's because it's cheaper to make them this way in that country or whatever.
Maybe.
The Pakistan commercial is probably the one that got more popular online because of how absurd it is and how crazy people think it is and how bad.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
People are saying that this song might be in the Sonic Symphony that's coming up soon in the world tour, but I'm not
I
sure.
hope so.
It's a rumor, but it would be nice if they just like all of a sudden. Let's watch this. Let's watch it.
It's so good.
चलकर हैप्पी मील खाए और मैकडॉनल्ड से सेगा गेम्स लाए टेल सॉकर
Soccer.
सोनिक स्केटबोर्ड
I love it, dude.
रोग एंड एमी
What is Rogue?
that?
Rouge is like a.
A rat. I had to go back on that. I like it's the most played too on the video. It's like what?
क्रीम पफ फ्लावर कैच
What is that? What?
शेडो बास्केटबॉल नकल्स बेसबॉल
Bam.
जी भरकर फिर खेलें खूब हल्ला गुल्ला मचाएं और दोस्तों को भी बतलाएं चलो चलकर हैप्पी मील खाएं चलो
That was
चलो
great.
मैकडॉनल्ड से सेगा
No
गेम्स
Ronald.
That was awful. That was terrible.
No Ronald McDonald though.
No.
No Ronald McDonald's in sight. So after this, so this is another interesting one. In 2006, Sonic X got an overseas promotion via McDonald's, not in America though. McDonald's gave out toys for the series with their Happy Meals. The Japanese series also has Japan got it too, but it's like they got Chris and Francis working with Whack-Donald's, which is a famous anime parody of McDonald's. Let's look at the Sonic X toys. I have them up here, I think.
Kind of weak.
Yeah, I would say super weak. So it's just Sonic with the Tails. It's just really like the other one we were talking about, where they just stamped anything. It looks like it could be anything.
I mean, they're kind of. What's weird is they're shaped like the characters a little
Right.
bit, but it's so.
The Shadow one is probably the better shaped
Yeah, it's
one.
very odd. It's like it's not. See, for me, I like things that are displayable, and these, like, I would just throw them in a box, even if I owned them. I'd be like, well, I can't put these out.
Disc launchers.
It's
that was
embarrassing.
That was the United States and the United Kingdom and Australia, but France got some like actual toys, like the Sonic Spinner with him on top of the thing.
And then tape measures.
Yeah, tape measures, which I guess is a thing. Hopefully it's in inches, so they can figure out how to properly measure stuff.
You know, it's interesting. They call the one Sonic Pencil. It's not really a pencil. It's like a timer that you stick on your pencil.
What does that do?
I don't know. Maybe you do a test and like it keeps track of. I don't know. That's interesting.
In France, they got an ad featuring Sonic in shadow on it. So let's look at that one. Again, dancing Ronald McDonald in the beginning, so let's play it.
Bouge pour garder la forme.
Oh yeah, they're promoting the...
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I would say so. I like the art style.
The art style's nice.
So it's a tube franchise ad.
Oh, well, the art for Sonic and it looked like you know what it looks like? It looks like Valkyria Chronicles, doesn't it?
Yes, it does actually, and it's interesting because I don't know, the French, they got some really good quality animation on their McDonald's ads, so it's actually kind of interesting.
When did Valkyria Chronicles release?
2008.
Okay, so this predates it, so it's not like they'd be using any...
Yeah. The next one is actually like a family ad. I think it might be long running in France for them because they like name every single family member in the beginning of the ad. This one's This is a Papa, Papi, Mama Man, and Tom and Leah. That creeps you out?
This is creepy. Did you see it?
No, I was gonna play it right now, but it has Hello Kitty.
Do it.
So let's play it.
You might die.
Oh. I like the kids are happy that they're getting destroyed. What you? Let me go back. You're talking about this part right here where Sonic just looks at the camera, all creepy.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm gonna leave it on the still shot of him looking all creepy. So this one not as good animation. Obviously, the whole point of the ad is that Sonic is destroying your house. I don't know. I've never seen Sonic in a video game actually destroy living rooms.
It's kind of like Sonic, like the movie Precursor, because he's like in a real environment, and they're like what is this thing? And they're trying to kill him. Right.
So that's the French adverts for those.
Thanks for that.
The next one I didn't really even know about. It's an Australian, New Zealand fast food chain called Red Rooster. And they got these like sippy cups, expandable flyer, pencil case, bouncy ball, and memory cards it's called. But I don't know what that is. Like, what's a memory card? Like,
like you lay them down and then like it's 2 Sonics, 2 Tails.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think about this one? I never heard of Red Roosters, but now I kind of like want to go. It's a chicken place.
The only thing I like is that it uses the Game Boy Advance Sonic art.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool. That's about it.
The toys are kind of cheap, to be honest with you. So now that's just in 2012. So now we're getting to 2015 when Sonic, Boom, Fire, and Ice teamed up with Carl's Jr. This is actually kind of an interesting one because this one's an interesting one because this one was delayed for a year, right? Like the promotion went on, but the actual game was delayed for a whole year. So they went and did this cool kids combos promotion to promote a video game that wasn't even going to be out for another year.
Right. They released it, and then when the game released, they just did like an online thing. So they actually it didn't come back. But it was actually I own these, but I don't have them displayed out here. It was cool. I mean, it was very each one was very different, And the one I actually like the most is the Communicator, which plays a big part in the TV show and the games. And the idea of there being like a whole board game in there, I thought was pretty cool. I like the Sonic figure. Looks like
what? Yeah, what's up with that? It looks weird.
It looks like an award you'd give someone.
Right. I feel like we need to buy a bunch of them, and when someone like we send them a reward, it's like, oh man, this comment you made under the Sega the new Sonic game, and you trashed on it. You're an idiot. You get an idiot award, and we send them one.
I should try to find like a bulk box of 100 of them, and everyone needs an idiot award, I think.
Right. Well, yeah, that'd be great. I would actually like that. So Subway also had a promotion in 2018, very far in the future from the whole Jared thing. For a limited time, Sonic toys were available with Subway's Fresh Fit for Kids subs. But 4 gear-based toys were available and could create simple animations like a zoetrope. What's that? I never heard of that.
Zoetrope is like a wheel that you look inside,
gotcha.
And the little slits animated. It's actually man, who's the director of Godfather? I'm blanking, but his studio was called American Zoetrope, and it's still around. And they actually have a cafe in San Francisco I went to, which was very cool. Yeah.
Well, this promotion had these. I'm assuming you don't own any of the Subway toys, right?
I do, but they're in a box.
I got you.
Just because, as you can see, they're very ugly. I would never display these.
Yeah.
They take up a lot of room, and you look at them and you're like, what is this?
And Subway isn't really known for their toys or promotions, like crossover promotions.
No.
And have you ever been to Subway? What do you think about their subs?
I've been to Subway. They're all right. I miss the seafood one, which is basically whitefish and mayonnaise.
So there's there's like a supermarket chain here. I don't know if they have it or they're Publix. Do they have it over there?
That's just like a Florida thing.
Okay, dude, they sell the best subs I've ever had. Like I don't even want to go there shopping for groceries. I'm like, I hate going there because I'm like, I'm gonna buy a whole sub. All right, fuck, you got me. Yeah, but yeah, they spoiled me. Now, like, anytime I see any fast food sub like Subway, I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, they need to open up that as its own restaurant. Just the Subway, the subs, because they're so good. Also, does Subway still do a foot long for $5? Because I don't think that's a thing anymore, right?
I don't think they do. I think it's a different price, or maybe a foot long is not actually a foot. They got very sneaky with it. But I go to, usually if I have a sub, it would be like at Jimmy John's, or it would be at Potbelly's. When I lived in Philadelphia, like, you wouldn't go to any of those because they had the best hoagies, which, is like a sub over there.
Right.
But man, I miss my hoagies.
Why?
They're good hoagies.
Okay. I believe it.
Go to Philadelphia, have a hoagie, and you'll never want anything else.
I'll have to go to Philadelphia and have a hoagie, and then I'm leaving. I'm like, thanks, guys. This is all I.
That's really what the rich people do. They show up, they have their hoagie, and they leave. They're like, I've had it. I've done it.
Is Chicago pizza really that iconic?
Well, it's like, that's a whole other discussion. But Chicago pizza is like its own thing. I mean, we have different kinds. We'll do that for the pizza episode.
Got you. So, Arby's in 2019 had a promotion with Sega of America and Sonic that actually had a tie-in with Sonic Dash as a digital promotion too, where they advertised this promotion. What is this?
I don't know.
It's like a stand with pictures?
I've considered buying these, and when I saw what they were, I was like, do I want these?
They're not even
what
a figure.
Are these?
They're just pieces of plastic with picture printed.
They are circles, and I don't know if the circle slides up or if it spins out, but regardless, you're not going to want to display them any other way than this. They look like game pieces for a bad board game.
Yeah, like a cheap board game. Like, oh.
They're stupid.
Like, if this was a board game and this was part of the board game, it'd be like, well, they really cheaped out on the Avatar things. I'd rather play Monopoly, I think.
And as I say this, I'm like looking on eBay to see how much they
are. So I didn't really know if I should add this next one. Arby's did in 2020, a year after that promotion, they did another promotion, and this time they did Sonic paper crafts that were available to download and as activity sheets. I think these are pretty cool because I actually kind of like when companies do this. I think Sega should just do this with every game they release, so people could just print their own out. And so they have Sonic, Tails, Shadow, which I mean, look at his face. He's angry already, and Amy with a heart. So these are pretty cool. I mean, they're not the great. I mean, they're just free things they put up real quick. Kind of lazy, to be honest. But if you guys thought that was lazy, check this next one out. So in 2020, during the pandemic, Sega and Jack in the Box, the Sonic movie and Jack in the Box had a promotion to promote the Sonic the Hedgehog film with tiny tacos, and they had like a hashtag going on called Sonic Loves Tiny Tacos, which is kind of creepy, dude, to be honest with you. At the Sonic the Hedgehog family event on January 25th, a Sonic film themed Jack in the Box food truck was presented, and they sold tiny tacos to people. Have you ever like ate a taco and you're like, you know what, this taco is too big. I want a smaller taco. Have you ever?
Well, you know who loves tiny tacos?
Who?
Sonic loves tiny tacos.
Apparently so. I did not know he was a tiny. Like, I didn't know Sonic could. Sonic only has half.
Tails.
What is it, Sonic?
You know what I love? Chili dogs? No,
Damn.
Tiny tacos.
And that's another thing I was going to say. There has never been a chili dog. I mean, I guess there's no chili dog restaurants, but like, there's never been a promotion with an actual chili dog outside of the Hooters one, which I didn't add here.
Sonic makes
Japan.
chili dogs.
Remember they did the Hooters crossover and they actually had.
That was peak. That was iconic.
I should have added that one. I didn't add that. But that's not fast.
Though.
Yeah, they didn't have toys, but they did have the hanging
yeah.
Sonic on the wall where it was like on noose around his neck. I was like, what the fuck?
Right. That I remember when the that viral video went out of that YouTuber who like went to the suicide forest.
Oh yeah. Logan Paul went to the
and I took the picture of the hanging Sonic and I put him on it, and then I posted it in our private chat, and I was like, I'm not posting this because it's distasteful.
It is distasteful. I mean,
but I had to make it in Photoshop.
I
was going.
I always thought that that was like fake, but I don't know. People are saying it's real, but I feel like that's just something like a YouTuber would do, right? Like create a fake death just to be like,
Sonic did it. Sonic hung himself at Hooters.
Isn't that a sad way to go?
What if that's how the canon reason for like, you know how big name characters, when they die, it's a huge deal. Like, Logan, you know, he died in that fight, and then Luke Skywalker, he died in that battle, and then with Sonic, it's like Sonic hung himself in Hooters. Remember that? Like, that's how the canon story ended in that fast forward story they did, where Sonic was like 30.
I think that was the original plan for the Forces, the storyline when he's not
Sonic
there.
Forces.
But they had to go back on it.
Yeah.
So
he went to prison instead. Yeah.
So Sonic 2, the movie, and McDonald's teamed up in 2022, which I would say this is probably close to another big one, big event for McDonald's and the Yeah, you have it. They actually have a box.
Got it.
They actually have a box.
They had a box, a legit box, and they had more. I'm going to switch over to the camera because this.
You want to show them off?
But you keep talking.
Okay. In most regions, the promotion had a line of plastic toys, which we're back with plastic toys, guys, with Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and giant Eggman robot, and a surprise toy that was later revealed to be Supersonic. Most of the characters have white shoes, but stickers are included to make them more accurate. There are a total of 10 toys in the line. However, the Cloud toy of Knuckles and the Lightning toy of Tails were not released in the U.S., In some regions, only a line of cardboard mazes were available. If you live in a country that had cardboard mazes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I'm showing them here. Like you said, some countries they had more than other countries.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually imported the Knuckles and the Tails from Canada, of all places. You can see them there. The Supersonic released later. Like, he released last and they didn't reveal it. So that was kind of the chase. They also had milk bottles. So Sonic was on the white milk. Tails was on the chocolate milk. And then check that out. Knuckles was on the apple slices.
Not grapes. Apple.
You mentioned the paper mazes.
Mm-hmm.
Those were interesting because in some countries, they only had the paper mazes. But in America, if they sold out of these, you would start getting the paper mazes. And if you look, they actually numbered them. So this is toy number 13. So if you got through like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then it would go 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there's another one I have stacked down there. But, man, like, you can see, they went all out. Like, look at that. I got those. I got, like, milk, apples. I mean, it's crazy.
So
yeah, that's my Sonic 2 display.
What's your opinion on these toys compared to the past ones that we've seen in this?
Compared to everything, I would say they're actually up there. I think it's a solid lineup of different characters. I think the fact that there's Supersonic is pretty epic. The fact that they went out of their way to keep him a secret and then release that toy. People kept coming back. They're like, oh, which guy do you have? Do you have Supersonic? The fact that, like I showed, there was a box, but there was also milk bottles, the apple slices. And I think the biggest thing is that they nailed it with the timing. The Sonic movie released, I think, during the promotion, and it was timed so well that you would go see the movie, and then the next week the Supersonic toy was out. So compare that to the Mario movie, where I think the Mario movie toys came out, and then the movie came out months later. They really screwed that up. Yeah.
That sucks because that movie was humongous for some reason. I watched the movie. I enjoyed the movie. It was pretty good. But it was just I don't know. It had this weird feeling where I was like, I don't know. I think it's just the way Hollywood makes movies now, right? Like, you just go by the motion to the end, and you're like, cool. They had some really good moments, though. I will admit. I love that it's all CGI. Right. The half world, half the CGI stuff. I know why they do it, but something about seeing a whole CGI.
It saves money.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to have 3 Sonic movies and a TV series in the same amount of time that it's going to take for maybe 2 Mario movies to come out. It's and who knows, it might cost more to make the Mario movies. I might be wrong, but it just seems like the time and effort and money spent on those is a lot more than the Sonic one, and I'm sure the return is fine. I'm not comparing in that regard, but who knows?
I will say though, the toys, one thing they were missing: no Donut Lord, no Jim. Can you imagine Jim Carrey action figure? They didn't do any of the humans.
No Agent Stone. Yeah, there is. There is a Jim Carrey action figure.
Well, not.
But it was released in stores. Yeah,
right, but not in as this promotion. What do you think is because they just assumed kids wouldn't care about? Or did they have to license their look?
I mean, they did have his big robot doing the run through the forest. But yeah, I mean, a part of me kind of wants to see what they would have done if they made Maddie Wachowski or her sister Rachel in her wedding dress.
Yeah.
In a golf cart. I actually want to see that. But I get why they did what they did. I really like the comparisons you can make. You can pick out 4 toys from that and compare it to the Sonic 3 Happy Meal promotion from 93. And it's just kind of cool to compare. You have 2 Knuckles, you have Sonic, you have Tails, you have... And I'm fingers crossed they do it for Sonic 3. If they don't, it's going to be, probably the saddest moment of my life.
Really? That would be the saddest? Let's...
Well, no, it'd be the biggest disappointment of my life, probably.
I think they'll do another one. I think this was a pretty popular one. Like you said, they timed it. The movie was really, really picking up when people were coming back to the movies. It did really well, and I'm assuming the promotion did pretty well for them.
I've said
Kids
in the past
crazy for Sonic.
That month, when that movie came out, Sonic was in more places than he ever has been or ever will be. Because there was, every single McDonald's had Sonic promotions. Every single movie theater had Sonic promotions in a movie. There was a new video game out, I think, so every store had a new game on the shelves. And I think there was even Sonic Prime maybe was out, or something was out. And so it was like, there was more Sonic. You couldn't escape him for like 2 months. It was amazing. I loved it. And I think that's why I love that promotion so much, because it was like the return of Sonic to the mainstream. You know, say what you will about the movie. I really liked the movie, but like that was the biggest Sonic has ever been since I think 1992, 1991. You know,
I would agree. It was pretty crazy. I didn't think it was going to get that crazy, but here's the McDonald's commercial that they aired. I only did the US one because every single region copied the US one because of the CGI assets. So let's play
an epic ad.
You can rewind time, guys.
Yeah. Look at Sonic.
Sonic the Hedgehog
Apple
is
slices.
through McDonald's. You can snap up protein-packed milk and a toy from the new movie Sonic the Hedgehog
There you go.
2. Only in theaters rated PG.
Epic.
What do you think about that version of, I guess, what do you think about that commercial compared to like the 1994 Sonic 3 commercial, which is more in your face, showing off the toys as the...
I mean, it's just changing with the times. Like, you're not going to do ones where it's like, it's the new Sonic the Hedgehog 2 Happy Meal from McDonald's. Hey, what are you doing? And there's like a cop going, oh, I don't fucking know.
I would say that at least the toys should have been front and center, but they all do the same thing. I guess the toys from back then actually had unique actions each, so it was fun to show them off.
Well, the fact that the ad used movie assets and, like, gave us Tails in a McDonald's visor.
Right, working at McDonald's. Awesome. Poor Tails, dude.
Yeah, and now that I think about it, I have a McDonald's visor, so I'll probably put it on my Tails plush that I have back there so he can be an official McDonald's Tails.
I feel bad because, I just feel bad for him. So that was in 2022, not that long ago, a year ago, we had that promotion. You think that would be done with new promotions, but no.
Oh my God.
Burger King in 2023 in Spain had a promotion. Let's look at this beautiful CGI trailer. Don't get spooked by the humans in this trailer. That's what humans look like in Spain. So let me put the video on. All right, play. Fidget spinner.
At Burger King, Sonic and friends are coming through fast.
Yeah.
Check out the new Supersonic Fidget Toys, one with every King Jr. meal. Your way, only at Burger King.
It's funny, I own those, and I forgot I did until we watched this.
Okay, so what do you think about those toys? I mean, fidget spinner, it's kind of like already been played out, and
yeah, they're all like time wasters. Like they have the little pops, like the little bubble wrap pops, right, and the fidget spinner. The weirdest one you can see in the ad, they don't really show it, but it's off to the left. It's Sonic's head, like on a disc. And on the back, it's a game of basketball between Sonic and Shadow. Very weird.
Yeah.
Very weird.
This is kind of a weird... I mean, they're not terrible, but they just remind me of kind of like you said, little cheap toys that you would buy, like that one I told you about, the little bubbles or whatever, where you have the rings and you have to make it in, that kind of thing.
Right.
Puzzle things.
Right.
And what do you think about the ad?
I think the ad's okay. I think the animation is kind of fun. I guess if you're like a super fan, you'd be like, oh, this is Sonic Unleashed. Like with the humans. Right. The way they're styled. But yeah, it's kind of your average, like, Sonic jumps out and surprises everyone. I actually think the McDonald's Sonic 2 one's the best, because it gives us Tails working at McDonald's, which is great.
So I was trying to, let me see if I could find it real quick. Well, that's our YouTube channel. I was trying to look for the Hooters one, and it's funny because the first thing that they show me is our Sega News Bits talk about it, which I'm like, cool, but there's a DualShockers 2, I guess. They don't have enough pictures on here. Come on, I can't even find our own pic. I'll just show this picture, but yep, guys, Sega teamed up with Hooters to promote Sonic Forces back in the day. I just wanted to show this picture of these two young ladies carrying these beautiful Sonic plushies. They themed the whole restaurant for the day. So it wasn't a huge promotion. They didn't have toys or anything. It was just like the restaurant was themed as Sonic for the release of Sonic Forces. You would think this would make the rounds. I mean, I guess in Japan, it's just a restaurant, right? Hooters? I've never been to one.
I mean, yeah, I guess it is. It's like a sports bar where, like, the I mean, you can see boobs anywhere.
I know, but like it's weird that your whole like franchise is called Titties, basically, right? Like another name for titties.
Right.
It'd be like Dick's, which is an actual restaurant in Washington for hamburgers.
It is, yeah. There is a Dick's place.
Yeah, but they don't have guys with with enlarged,
You mean
charisma.
normal sized?
Right, normal size. Right. So. Also, the last one as a bonus, you could talk about this more since you posted the article back in 2014, and you're the main cited person on the internet about this. By the way,
I am.
Yeah, because I was looking at it on one of the wikis, and I was like, "Let me see who the source is on this," and it was literally us. I was like, "Wait, what?" Clicked
That's
it,
funny.
and it was your article. So I'll play it. I have it up on the screen. A canceled Sonic Adventure Burger King Kids Club concept art came out on eBay, right?
Yeah, so these, I'm always bopping around on eBay looking at stuff, and there's nothing I love more than when people have very rare materials, but they document them so extensively that there's no reason for me to buy them. Like, sure, I would absolutely love to have the original hand-drawn drawings and, like, scan them proper, but the prices they had, I don't remember how much it was, but it was quite a bit. Yeah, $150 each for 10. So it was 60 pieces of art. You would be spending $1,500. They should have just bundled them all together. I don't like that they broke the setup. Kind of stupid.
To make more money.
Right. And this goes back to, like, when you have, like, rare documents and stuff, like, scan them, share them, and then sell the originals, because the originals, they're still worth their value. It's not like they're worth less because you scanned an original drawing. I think an original drawing of any canceled or released toy is worth a lot, regardless of if there's a scan of it out there. But yeah, looking at these, it's a canceled concept of Sonic Adventure Burger King toys, which I think would have been the most epic release ever. It would have outdone everything we looked at. There's a really cool one of Robotnik, like, smashing into Sonic.
Right.
There is Sonic on a skateboard. I think the most epic one is E102.
Getting his own figure?
Like, full body, and he has... I'm not sure what he has.
This is a light-up
I don't know
scope.
what he does.
Like, his scope has a light on it, and that his gun's supposed to have a metallic finish.
That's kind of cool. Knuckles is neat. He does, like, the Loopin' Louie, that board game where he, like, goes around, and it's really sweet that it's actually, I think, the Emerald Shrine with Robotnik chasing him.
Right.
Big the Cat's kind of neat, though he's kind of proportioned funny. I like that Froggy's there. It's the happiest Froggy's ever been. If you look at the
because he got caught by his
best
friend.
They can't spell catchin. It says frog, catkin, cat.
I think it's supposed to play a word on him being a cat, right?
Frog. Oh, they spell it correctly on the other one. Okay. Amy, I don't like. It's a very unladylike pose. Right. She sat there, like, spread.
With her skirt on. Like, come on, dude.
Her legs are spread apart, and she's holding a picture of Sonic.
Yeah, and it's called Noisy Amy. More like Horny Amy.
like, I don't want to get crass, but like seriously, like she's sitting down with her legs spread, holding a picture of Sonic, and it's called Noisy Amy.
Yeah, that's probably what canceled
Really?
it. This is probably what did it.
Probably.
You should have bought the pack with the Noisy Amy since it's borderline pornographic.
I passed over Tails because it is the laziest one.
Right.
It looks exactly like the Sonic 2 UK one that we saw.
Right.
It's like one to one.
And look at his hands too. They're like this. Yeah, like what? All right, dude.
But he's like, but his feature is that he's flocked, so he actually has real, like, not real hair, but like fake hair on his body. So he's like furry, kind of weird.
And there's this second Sonic here with a gun,
which is so weird. It comes. What is that?
A sled?
I guess that's like the supersonic sled. I guess it's kind of like in the Twinkle Park, but it doesn't look anything like Twinkle.
No.
Twinkle Circuit in Sonic Adventure. The other Tails is epic. It's the Transforming Tornado 2.
Oh, yeah.
With rotating propellers. And Sonic snaps into the clip in the back, just like the game. That is, like, I think the best toy we've looked at out of all of these. Because that's such a deep cut. It's such a small moment where Tails is like, and he grabs Sonic, and Sonic's like, "Hey!"
So maybe, and then they have this other one where it's
another Knuckles,
right? Where he like is moving his hands like how
he's
kids
got
fight,
6 arms,
right?
Yeah.
I'm skydive Knuckles. I don't know.
Walk'em sock'em,
right?
Walk'em sock'em Knuckles, six knuckle drive.
So this would have had.
So these are just.
This would have had 2 Sonics, 2 Knuckles. Really shows you what they think of who the most popular characters are, right?
Right. And these are just kind of really cool. It's a really cool look into how they design fast food toys. The art's actually really nicely done. And I don't know who bought these. I've never seen them turn up since, but I'm glad that I saved all the photos because the eBay listings are gone.
Right, and you could see them obviously on our site. I'm sure there are other places that people have put them up on wikis. I have noticed that Sonic Retro doesn't really have a fast food Wikipedia aspect of their website. So I just thought that was interesting. So the last thing to close up this episode, what do you think Sonic's preferred fast food is? Because there's an official answer to this.
Oh. You must know the answer.
I do know the answer. I didn't write it down because I wanted to hear what you thought it was.
Give me a hint. Like, is this something that was mentioned?
In this episode, yes.
Oh. One of the restaurants is his favorite fast food.
Yep.
It's not McDonald's. Is it Jack in the Box?
Jack off box or whatever.
What is it?
So
is it Subway?
With Yuji Naka, with the Sega.com interview, was asked, when Sonic and his friends sit down to eat after a long day of chasing Dr. Eggman, what do they like to eat? According to Yuji Naka, who's in prison. No, he's not in prison. They probably eat McDonald's hamburgers, I suppose. And I think they will go for a complete lineup of Happy Meal premiums, which I don't know what that is. Has Yuji Naka ever been to a McDonald's? Do you go in there and be like, my kids will like a Happy Meal with all the Happy Meal premiums, thank you very much. What's that?
Yeah, I mean, would you trust Yuji Naka, though? Because he almost went to prison.
Almost went to prison. Some sites say that he did go to prison.
Some say he's still there, waiting to be broken out.
Like Sonic and Sonic the Adventure 2, they hit Sonic the Hedgehog video game.
Some say he's at Hooters.
Some say he wrote Sonic Adventure 2 based on his real experiences with the government. Gun.
Probably.
All right.
Oh, poor guy.
Anything else you want to say about fast food promotions involving Sonic the Hedgehog?
I think you did a very good job. This is an episode that I always thought I would be doing the notes for, but I am impressed. The master becomes the student becomes the master.
I thought it would be the other way right there. Almost, you became a student.
Yeah.
Fuck.
The master becomes the student. I've downgraded you, but yeah, it's wild how many they've done. You've said it's possible Sonic has had more than most other franchise, and it's probably true. I'm trying to think, maybe like Looney Tunes or Mickey Mouse, but even then I can't think of like Mickey specific. Well, Mickey probably had a lot, but they're always like around Disney World and stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
I think maybe like Disney as a company, obviously, since they own Lucas and all that.
Right.
Star Wars, I would say it's a franchise. They could probably do it. So they've been around.
They've had a fair amount. Yeah, they did these really cool ones where they're like big heads inside of like starships. Those were popular for a while. I think they've done a few of those. So, but yeah, I think fast food toys are really interesting. I know that in where I live, there's actually a lot of former McDonald's staff because their headquarters are out here, and there is a Happy Meal toy designer who lives not too far from me, and he was having a sale a couple of years ago selling all of his stuff. He had design documents for just about every Happy Meal promotion ever done. So,
and you didn't buy any?
Cool. I didn't know about it until after the fact, but I don't think he had Sonic. Maybe that stuff went to SEGA. They held on to it. But yeah, like as you can see, I like Happy Meal promotions and fast food stuff. It's fun.
You think we're ever going to get a movie of McDonald's and it's all the Happy Meal promotions, but in a Barbie type setting?
Oh, that's super meta. Like Happy Meal the movie?
That would be way too meta. I was going to say, though, for real, though, haven't they like kind of went back on Ronald McDonald, like retired him as a character in a way?
They've been slowly bringing him back with the Grimace thing, and there are rumors of a hamburger meal coming out.
Ooh, I'll probably go buy that.
Which I did drink the Grimace shake.
What do you think?
It tastes fine. It tastes like purple berries.
Okay, I was gonna go get one.
And
I never did.
Like I said, like I eat, like I don't have a proper McDonald's meal like ever, but I try the weird stuff. Like I'll try like a small. I always go up and I'm like, oh, the kid size, a kid size shake, and they go, we only have regular, and you go, okay, I'll have a regular, and like a regular is the size of my head.
Oh yeah, they're huge.
And then I like have a heart attack in the parking lot because they hate me.
Of course, it's a perfect place to have a heart attack. Very nice parking lots they got.
Absolutely. So, should we wrap
Let's
things
wrap it up.
Wrap. All right. So, if you will support us on Patreon at any tier level, you can share your memories and we'll read them at the end of the show. But of course, if you're the picker, you get your memories read at the beginning of the show. On this episode, we have memories from Daniel Andres, who says, back when I was around 8 to 9 years old, I remember Sonic Heroes being promoted fairly well, and a part of those promotions had to do with the McDonald's handheld mini Tiger electronic toys they were handing out. My siblings and I collectively tried to get them. During that time, I have 3 other siblings. Unfortunately, though, they have been lost to time. I also remember Mario Wendy's toys coming out around the same time, and fairly recently, the Sonic 2 McDonald's toys. I own all of those along with all of the Sonic 3 McDonald's figures, which I got in an eBay auction a while back. I'm going to start recollecting those Sonic LCD electronic toys again soon. And I read this comment earlier today, and I was like, Mario Wendy's toys, and I looked them up. They're pretty epic. They're Game Boy Advance Game Boy Advance based, which is kind of cool. But then they later did a Mario Wii promotion where you actually had mini toy Wiimotes that did different things. Like one of them actually shot Wii discs out of it, which makes no sense.
Right, yeah.
And another one has like a magnet that you can like push Mario with, which is kind of funny. We also have a memory from Nicholas Schaefer, who says, "Wow, I can't believe this wasn't a Patreon pick of mine because without Sonic fast food tie-ins, I would never have found the franchise or gaming in general. I grew up poor, so we didn't have video games, but once a month we would go out to eat at McDonald's, and there was a contest to win Sonic 3, and I won, but we still couldn't afford the system. I played it a few times at friends, and I had the Sonic and Tails toy. I watched the cartoons and got an occasional Archie Sonic comic. For years I would put this collection on the ground, flip through the manual, and dream about the fun video games would be. Finally, in the fall of '98, I bought a used Genesis for $20 so I could play these games. Then, in 1999, while I was going through a drive-thru at Jack in the Box, I saw they had a Sonic games for PC. I wanted both, but they told me they only got one, so I got Sonic 3 and Knuckles collection, but my mom was so ticked at the guy that she went through the drive-thru again and bought the other game, Sonic 3D Blast. And yeah, just as an aside, like, you'll sometimes, if you're ever going out to get these, some people are so cool, they're like, oh yeah, $1 a toy. Like, they don't give a shit.
Right.
Sometimes they'll, when I was doing the Sonic 2, like, hunt, last year, my daughter and I went to one, and no joke, for $3, they gave me, like, 6 toys. I don't think there was any math involved. They just, like, were like, they hit a number, and they're like, there you go. But yeah, that sucks when you get, like, a employee who's like, well, actually, we can only sell you 1 disc, and it's like, sell me 2. I'm still giving you money,
right,
asshole. Unfortunately, when we got home, I realized my dad's computer didn't have a CD player, but within 6 months, he got a promotion that came with a raise and a new computer, and I was finally able to play these games. To this day, anytime I see a fast food restaurant do Sonic toys, I collect it. Can be Subway, Burger King, Jack in the Box, or McDonald's, because if it wasn't for these promotions, I may never have become obsessed with Sonic and gaming. So much of my childhood was reading that Sonic 3 game manual, imagining all the wonderful zones, and for that, I'm forever grateful.
I'm surprised.
What a sweet way to end the show.
I'm surprised that the promotion was an actual promotion. When I was a kid, I always assumed that no one ever won the contest and it was just a scam. I don't know why. I was just like, there's no way. I used to enter like the Nickelodeon things where they're like, watch every episode and get a keyword, and I'm like, I've never won, so nobody else has won.
I won the Rio forklift. Remember that for the Sonic and All Stars Racing?
Oh, yeah, you did.
I was driving over train tracks, and like I got a weird call from California, and I pick up, and they were like, "Hi, you won a Rio forklift," and I was like, really? So, but yeah, so next time we are returning to the world of Patreon picks, and we are returning to covering a game, which we have not, like, legitimately done. It's always been, the last few months have been a little fun, but we're getting back to the nitty gritty. We are going to be talking about a game that SEGA marketed the shit out of.
Oh, yeah.
You could buy a Genesis game, and it would inevitably come with a poster for this game. And that game I'm talking about is Jurassic Park for the Sega Genesis. So we are going to get killed by dinosaurs on the next episode of SEGA Talk.
Bye.
Bye.